right, so we just finished our discussion on the different parts of a map, and we are going to make sure that we have 4 sections for sure on this map. So for our treasure map, we want to make sure we have a title, so you're going to name your map. We want to make sure that you have a key, or it's also called a legend, and that explains the different pictures, different lines, different parts of your map. You're going to have a compass, which tells us what direction is north, south, east, and west. And then the last step that we have to have, or the last part that we have to have on our map, is a scale, which is just a line that kind of tells us how far a space is on our map. So for instance, maybe 1 inch on your map equals 1 mile. Okay, so I am going to start out by showing you how to draw the outline or the general shape of your map. And then we'll go ahead and start filling it in with those 4 key components that we want. And then our island or our land or wherever it is that our treasure is hidden. So what I am going to do is begin by making a line on the top left and the top right that's just curved slightly up like this. And then I am going to bring it down to the bottom. It's not a perfectly straight line. In fact, I want it curved in a little bit like that and like this. And I'll do that on both sides. And then I'm going to put a second line at the top on both sides. And I'm going to connect from that second line down over to this second line, but I want it to be a really jagged edge. So it looks like my map is old and has been torn and just isn't perfect by any means. Like that, okay? Now, on the bottom, what I'm going to do is start in between those 2 lines and then down a little bit. And I'm just going to make a swirl. It kind of reminds me of a paper clip. It's going to curve up and connect to that line right there, and then curve over and connect to this line. And then it's eventually going to come all the way over here. But before I do that, I want to come do the same thing on this side, except that I'm going to have the opening, like this opening here, is going to be facing that way. Curve it around, curve it up, all the way over, and then curve it this way. And then I'm going to start with those jagged edges. Like that, okay? Now, I'm almost done with the outline of my map. The only other thing I need to do is connect this up, and then I'm going to go down a little bit below where it started and curve it like that. Same thing over here. There, I am now done with the outline of my map, okay? So I need to make sure I get the key, I need to make sure I get the title, I need to make sure I get the scale, and I need to make sure I get the compass. You could draw those things first if you'd like, or you can start by drawing your land and all those details. It's up to you. Just make sure that you leave space for those. So I'm thinking that I'm going to want my key, my compass down here at the bottom. I'm going to start with a really little circle, and then I'm going to go around that circle with a bigger one, and then going up and going down, I'm going to have a big triangle, And then the same thing going left and right. Now I'm going to split those triangles all in half. And then in these empty spaces, I will make a smaller triangle like this and split those in half. So this will then be north, east, west, which I should have left a little more space here. And south. And again, I should have left more space there. All right, so I have my compass finished. I think over here, I want to come in this way. And again, where you put yours is completely up to you. You could have your compass over here if you wanted to. But I am going to make a flag coming in from the bottom like this. And I'm going to write the Lost Island. That's the title or the name of my island. Again, you come up with your own name. And now I think I'm ready to make my island. I'm going to do the key after I do the island, because as of right now, I don't know what all I'm going to put for all my details. Okay, so there's my island. I think I'm going to have my island have a beach all the way around the outside of it. So this is just going to be where the sand is. And I think I want a couple little ponds in there, or lakes. I maybe have some mountains on there. Okay. And I could go ahead and just keep on adding more details. So it's kind of up to you how you're going to do that. I think my ship is going to land over here, and this is going to be the path that needs to be taken to get, maybe they're going through the mountains, to get to the treasure, which is right there. X marks the spot. So if this is where the ship is going to let the people off, I need to draw my ship. I'm sorry, my dog. Oh, my dog just doesn't want to stop. So here's my ship. And draw some waves there. Maybe I want some other waves in the water. Maybe I want a shark in the water. Okay, so those details are all up to you. I would go ahead and add even more details, but I don't want to give you too many ideas because I do want you to come up with your own ideas on your own. So here I am going to put my scale. So 1 inch equals 1 mile. All right. And then over here I'm going to make my key. So I could make my mountains. And then name them the something mountains. I want you to try to come up with some sort of clever name. My brain is not coming up with anything funny or anything clever right now, but I'm just going to leave it blank until I think of something. I could draw my lake and name it something lake. Okay. The X is going to be the treasure. And depending on what else you have on here, you could add to your key. Okay. Now, once you are done with your map, I want you to get it okayed. And if I okay it, you are going to go ahead and outline everything or trace everything with the Sharpie. Now, I did make this line in here where I said the beach was. I think I'm going to leave that just pencil for now. And when I color it, I'll just do this a sandy color and this more of a grassy color. I don't think I need to divide the sand and the grass with a Sharpie line. So you would trace everything nice and neatly. And then when you're finished with that, you are going to erase all those extra pencil lines, except for that sand line that I was talking about. And then you will begin adding your color. Now, we are going to add our color using colored pencil. And we're going to pretend right now that I'm completely done outlining, completely finished with the erasing. And what I'm going to do is show you just kind of a cool little thing with the colored pencil to make it look like this is an old map. I'm going to take a brown. You could use a black, you could use a gray, but I'm going to go really dark along the outside edge of my map, like this, and then fade it out so that it's gradually getting lighter and lighter. And this takes a little time, so please be patient. It's worth it to put the time in because it's really cool looking once you get it done. So I fade it, so it's basically faded into no color at all, faded into white. And then I'll take my blue, for me at least, it's blue because I do have water. And I'm going to go dark along the outside edge of my island. And blend that into that brown. This just makes it look like it's old and starting to fall apart and deteriorate along the outside edge of the map, okay? And you would just keep doing that all along the outside edge, even where it started to roll up, okay? So we want everything on our map to be colored in nice and neatly. Use multiple colors. You don't just need water to be blue. You can mix in some light and dark blues. You could mix in some purples. Really take your time on these and make them look really cool. The only space on here that you don't have to color is this white part out here that isn't even part of our map, okay? All right, if you have any questions, please let me know.